if you've watched the show before, you know these are colors I'm not Okay, here comes a good one. Unexpected in the shadows. I like to put unexpected things everywhere. I don't know, you ever remember being a kid and playing with the shadows on the wall and doing little birds? Welcome to Give Your Walls Some Soul. I'm Shannon Grissom. I'm really excited. This is the start of our 4th season. So we've been doing this quite a while, and this is not a one-man or one-woman show. I couldn't do anything without the crew that's been with me from the beginning. So first, I'd like to talk about, thank Larry Talbot. He's run camera for me for years. And we've got people in the back that we'll try and show you later. But right now, we're going to focus on, there's Bruce. There's Bruce. Okay, Bruce runs audio, and his job is really hard because when I laugh, I get really loud, so he's always got to has to monitor that. And then we have 2 other people here that really like to hide behind the camera, and that would be Ron Winninger and Carrie Thigerson. They've worked probably every aspect of the shoot for me. They're just awesome. And we've got people who are totally hiding in the back, and they wouldn't have it any other way, and that would be Dee Guerrero. Oh, wait, nope, I see Ron and I see Carrie. I sound like Romper Room, don't I? There's Ron and Carrie. They're awesome. They help me on so many shoots. And then in the back, and I know you can, it looks like, who was that, it or somebody from the Addams family? I can just see a hand waving back there. That's Jan. She's been my director forever. And she's awesome, just been a great support. And then Dee Guerrero on CG. These people, and Sean, who's on vacation, that's why you can't see him. But these people, month after month, come out and help me put this great show for you guys. So I just want to say thank you, woohoo! I've got a kazoo here, and they all got a golden kazoo. And thought about playing that, but you know what? Here's the deal. We don't have makeup people here. And so if I started playing the kazoo, it would screw up my lipstick, and can't have that. All right, well, I was going to paint a cow this time. And I know I put out in my newsletter, so all you people who are waiting to see a cow, got to wait till next month. I got a call from a guy named Jim Calici. He's in Santa Cruz, and he said, I just celebrated my 80th birthday, and he goes, I'm going to start painting. So he wanted to know what kind of paint to get, and so we had a long talk, and he went out, and he called me back, and he started painting. So I'm really excited. He's so inspiring that here he is. He turned 80, and he's starting. So you guys pick up your paints and paint along with me today. This is an abstract. It's not meant to look like anything. He said, would you do an abstract, but could you use maybe more colors than just red? so today I'm going to use a lot of different colors. I'll probably only use the knife, not even use the brush. And we're going to talk about color harmonies and relationships. But Jim, happy birthday out there. I'd light a candle and light you a cake, but they don't let me play with fire in the studio. So here I'm going to start mixing some color. Better put my kazoo down. And we're going to just treat this like these are just different shapes, different. Oh, good thing you guys didn't see that. Different shapes, different colors, and I'm going to put one spot of color down and see how that goes. Now, in honor of Jim, I'm going to start with, I don't know if you like blue or not, but I love this Mediterranean blue, so I'm going to just put a little bit of that. Okay, now I gave you this whole palette list. And the one color that I didn't list because I decided on the way over here that I had to put it in here was Mediterranean blue. So you're not going to see that on the palette list, but you know, changed my mind. All right. Oh, what a wonderful happy color. That's just singing. So I took some Mediterranean blue, mixed it with some white, and I'm just going to, now there's a lot of ways to do an abstract. You can take something that's out of context and really kind of blow it up, or you can just do whatever feels good. This is going to be a whatever feels good show. So, okay, so we're going to start with just one thing on the canvas and start everything else is what relationship that is. I also had to decide whether I was going to have the canvas, which orientation, and I decided, you know, I like vertical the best, so that's what I wanted to do. All right, so I think I'm just going to put a couple. Yep, that's happy. It's not, again, it's not supposed to be anything. We're going to do color relationships. All right, so I'm going to wipe my knife. And what colors do I really think we're happy with that? Well, oh, you know, if we're going to do something really cool, and I mean not neat or wonderful, I mean cool as in cold, I will use maybe some, oh, I love this, phthalo turquoise. And do I want to use it straight? No, I'm going to add a little white just so that I can bring out the color. It's a very powerful pigment. You can see that it's still strong even after I put all that white in there. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so these guys are friends. And when you're working on an abstract like this, you got to be very conscious of who's friends with each other. So it's like friends and family. No, it's not a wireless plan. You got to put colors down that are going to be happy next to each other. It would be like putting, you know, you have 4 kids. 2 of them get along, 2 of them are a little more challenging. You know, you don't put the ones that fight in the same seat together on a long trip. So consider the painting a long trip. Got to have some happy kids next to each other. Yeah, if you put a bad color on the canvas and in the wrong place, it's like throwing a cat in the middle of the mix. You know, it's just not going to be happy. Okay, I like this right next. Oh, do I want to leave a little space? I'm going to put the heavier color on the bottom. See, I don't really, you know, this is very liberating. You don't care about whether it looks like anything. You're just happy to put the paint down and see how the little shapes work with the other shapes. I'm going to put maybe another one in here and leave that little thing hanging. That's good. All right, so we have some blue and we have some turquoise, and that's lovely. And God, we've gone a whole 2 minutes and I haven't put any red down. I'm going to see if I can try another cool color. I was tempted to use some yellow, but I want to push it and maybe just God, I want to put some red. You don't know how hard it is not to put some red down right now. Okay, well, instead, I got to save the red. I'm doing this for you, Jim. I'm going to save the red for a little bit later, and I'm going to put down some Indian yellow because that's just really happy with these blues. But you know the red's coming. I'm mixing the Indian yellow with a little bit of white. It's just a little too transparent with the knife if I don't add a little white to it. And I'm not ready for transparency. Okay, I know that these are really happy together, and I'm just going to shove this right next to that. Ah, I like that. It's very happy together. Okay. I thought about bringing a putty knife and doing the whole thing with a putty knife, but I didn't have a palette big enough. I would do that at home. So if you don't have any knives at home, try a putty knife. I'm going to put a little more yellow down. All right. Okay, we're getting to where we need some red. Maybe a little yellow in 3 places, so I need to mix a little more. I'm not mixing quite the same color. This is a little more washed out version. Not so much a screamer. This is not going to be a neutral painting, even though it may be cool in tone. Well, God, I don't know what it's going to end up being. But it's not, I'm not in a neutral mood today, so it's going to be a lot of primaries. Oh, I like that. See, and what happens is I put a color down and I put a shape down and I say, oh, that looks nice next to that. Let's add something else. This is so liberating to do a painting this way. You can just pick your favorite colors. Go ahead, match your sofa. I hope you're trying this. Cool thing about painting with a knife like this is that you don't have to clean any brushes when you're done. Okay, that's even lighter. I don't think I want it lighter. I want more punch. Should I put some straight? Yeah, let's do some straight. Oh, that's happy. And I like the sounds it makes too. So I know there are people out there who are really have a hard time with something that's this abstract that it isn't looking like anything. But the cool thing is that if you look at an abstract like this, and if you really need to, you could make shapes out of whatever I'm painting. So it's good for your creativity. All right. Back to, I think we're going to put some blue next to this yellow, just as a little anchor. You know what? I wasn't consciously going in an S shape, but this seems to be what's happening here. And I'm just putting them next to each other to see what happens. Okay. Oh, these are happy. Nice anchor. Oh, that's lovely. Like that. Okay. Let's try some ultramarine blue. Now, I don't have a lot of that right now because I'm running out, and I didn't order any. I'm going to use some straight ultramarine blue because I'm going to put it right over the top of this. I'm going to be conscious of putting the darker colors. Oh, that was cool. The darker colors on the bottom because the painting will be. It has a weight, so I am going to have most of the dark value down below. I don't want it to be top heavy. Now what happens is if I'm not explaining this and I'm just doing something like this at home, pretty soon you start painting and you're just putting things and pieces next to each other. You get into la la land, and I'm not conscious of, well, I might have a little fleeting thing of saying I want to put the dark on the bottom because I don't want it to be top heavy, but basically just start putting the paint down. So don't worry about trying to make it anything. Just put paint down and make sure, as long as they're happy next to each other, that's great. And if they're not, and you put a color down and you don't like it next to each other, you can scrape it off and put something else over the top. All right, let's see. Do we want another, I like this rhythm. Maybe I'll start something lower and go up. Didn't mean to do that. So, but it's not like I was making anything, so it's not hurting anything. All right. I'm just putting paint down. It's kind of like those ink blots. You start to see things. Like this could be a person. Okay, for all of you that have to make something realistic out of that, that is a blue angel. Oh, the cameraman in the back. You should see him. He's raising his hand. He's like, he wants to see realism. He's going to be happy when I do the cows next time. Okay. Well, anyway, this is a blue angel. That's what that is. And, ooh, this is like an Olympic torch. Now, I don't know. You guys tell me what you see. Email me. Okay, Jim, I've gone this far and I've not used red, but you know, that blue is just calling for it. So first I'm going to, I'm going to go for some permanent rose. I don't use permanent rose a lot anymore, but that just would be very happy right here. Okay. Now this was really cool, because when you paint like this, certain things happen. And if you look really close at the red, and if you're really able to zoom in, at the space where it breaks, you saw me, I just put a line down, I didn't do anything else. There's a little happy face here. So, okay, run, cameraman in the back. There's something realistic for you. See, a little smile, nose, eyes, everything. Oh, that's cool. Okay, well, we need to have a little more red on this side. I'm looking for balance and rhythm. Put on some Santana and paint. That is just really a good way to do it. You can dance and paint at the same time. Okay, that's too even. Even is boring. There. Broke that up. All right. What else do we want to add? Now, there are times when I would leave just a little bit on the canvas, leave that white space, and that's all there is. But we're going to just see if we can make all these relationships work. All right. Do we want to put some white down? Yeah, some straight white maybe. It's not very straight because I contaminated it with a bunch of color. So where do I want to put some white? Maybe right over the top here. Oh, and it's so thick, it's just dripping. This is just way cool. I can tell you this is going to take forever to dry. This is like frosting a cake. Come on, guys, if you've frosted cupcakes, cake, you can do this. Oh, it has wings now. Actually, if you see this, it's kind of hard to see the white against white, but if you see this, this is kind of a reoccurring stroke in my paintings, whether it's with the knife or the brush. Oh, I like that. Okay. How can we just morph this and put some other things with it so that it just really starts to make sense? And it doesn't have to make sense in that it's making anything. Again, this is not going to look like, and hopefully not look like anything when I'm done. All right, so let's really happy together. Oh, we need some purple. Yeah. I'm going to put some violet, and I'll have to get some more white out because I've used all that. Use a lot of paint when you paint with a knife, because I usually use all that medium. And that waters it down, thins it down anyway. Water's not a good word. Thins it down considerably. Okay, so let's mix some. So right now, I've used pure pigment just with white. I've not mixed any neutrals together. I may do a little bit of that, but right now, this reminds me of Fiesta-ware dishes. They got happy colors, and I like that. Okay, we got some. Everything I'm doing is vertical, really, and that's okay. Pretty soon, I'll start seeing things in here. All right, we have a little violet there. Oh, I like that. Colors are starting to. This is a good family dynamic here. All right, next to purple and red, we'll do this for the old red hat ladies, wherever you are out there. Okay, I like that. Now let's see what I can start mixing some neutrals. And let's make out of the permanent red. Now, yeah, permanent rose. I'm going to make a a nice little red using this Indian yellow and permanent rose, because we just didn't have anything bright enough yet. I promise the whole thing won't be red. I just need to do this. Put a little here. Doesn't look a lot different, huh? Well, then I'll add a little bit of yellow. I'm going to steal some of that. All right, we're starting to do, well, for me this is a neutral. For anybody else it's still a screamer. I wonder if they ever analyze people's paintings by astrology, by your astrological sign. And because Aries do love red. Actually, you know, there's a decorating show based on astrology, so they ought to have a painting show. All right, so that's a nice mellow complement. That's just way cool. It's very liberating if you're afraid to paint because you're going to mess something up. How can you mess this up? You can't. And if you're worried about, well, what if the colors don't look good? You know, I mix the colors and they don't look good next to each other. Well, mix them on the palette and see if they're friends here first. If they're friends here first, they'll be cool once they hit the canvas. If they're looking bad here, it's not going to get any better. Okay, so we want to have some light little flame things going out here. Now I'm starting to mix with color that's already there. I was happy. This is very pure. More yellow in here. Why did I pick yellow? Well, I could tell you that it was the complements and all that good stuff, but it really wasn't that logical at all. It's like that just where my arm went, and that felt good. Okay. It reminds me of a headdress and feathers, and I'm wondering, I'm tempted to take a bunch of this white and smear some of it down into that blue. I think I'm going to do it. And the worst that could happen when I do this is that I'd say to myself, boy, I liked it better before I did it. Oh, well. Oh, I like that. So that now there's like a nice little transition there. And it's not so harsh. Okay. Now what are we going to put down here? I think I need some more of that blue. Mediterranean puppy. Only straight out of the tube. Although it did get a little contaminated with this quinacridone violet. That happened during transport. Okay, this is a nice fat, oh, that's just a happy blue. God, I love it. Oh, it's going to be real happy next to the yellow, so I'm going to get a bunch more of that. That is just really cool. I have to break this shape up. That's cool. Yeah, we're going to have to get some more of that out. The only thing that's really, I did think about before I came here, I had no idea what I was going to paint. You know, I just knew that I was going to do an abstract. There are ways of doing abstracts where you take, let's say you're looking at a headlight and you zoom in really close on that headlight so that you can't, all you see are reflections, you can't even tell what it is because you've zoomed in so close. You can take a look at that and use that as reference material and paint that because out of context, it's very abstract. So that's a great exercise. So that's one way of doing it. Another way is to just blur your eyes and fuzz, you know, make everything fuzzy. And then there's just a million ways to do it. And then this way, I really like doing this where I just take paint, put it down next to each other, see how it feels. And it's a real interactive process. Oh, this shape looks good. I think I'll add a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And this is really my favorite way to paint an abstract. Okay, so what do we want here? Need some more weight down at the bottom. And I'm going to take some straight purple, carbazole violet, and make a bigger, fatter. That's just too dark. Ouch. Okay. That's like, okay, but I'll tell you what this little part was. Everybody here is telling about what a great day they had and how everything is cool and life is good. And all of a sudden this purple comes along and says, it was nasty, it was no fun, and you know, it's just a bummer. So you just can't stay on the canvas like that. So I'm gonna have to lighten it up with some white, and just because, a little bit of red. Okay. Now you can have, it's just way out of place here. You can, you know, if you want a lower key type painting, I can do that, but that's not what this one was all about. Okay, so I'm even going to change its shape. Ooh, it's stubborn. You know, those grumps are. Okay. Now, in order to just really, this is where you got to put red over the top, because when they're stubborn like that, and they just insist on being grumpy, you got to give them some red. Okay. Take that. Yeah. Much better. And that. Oh. Wow. Kind of looks like a person now. Let's see. And we're going to add some lighter tones to that. But that was enough to get that to, do I want to? Oh, that's cool. Now you can still have that little, break that up. Ooh, okay. Now, what can I do to lighten that up even more? Well, I think that turquoise would just be gorgeous. I am surrounding the grump with good vibes. So I'm going to put some turquoise here. And really, it's not grumpy anymore. Ooh, like that. Like that a lot. And just because I don't want the grump to totally be left out, I'll put a little bit, it can't be that dark. I'm not sending another grump to talk to him, but I'm going to put somebody that's a little more low key, just in case the grump can't handle the high energy people around him. Okay, so that's a little more of a low key. We're anchoring this. Much better. You never know the grump was there, except that you guys know because you saw it. Okay, so you notice that it's lighter on top darker on the bottom. Let's see, what do I have left here? Want some more of this. This Mediterranean blue is just really cool. I did a self-portrait one time, and I did it in a value study, so it was blue and white. My whole face was blue and white, believe it or not. But I did have red for the lips. Had to have some red somewhere. I was going to do just blue and white, but I couldn't. I couldn't do it. Okay. A little more, and you know what? And we need some more. Can't believe all the blue we're using today. Okay, I just squeezed out some more ultramarine blue, and I'll mix some of that with white. These are pastel-y type colors, but I don't know that I want to do, normally I would have some neutrals there, but I don't know that I want anything that saturated. Oh, I already had a space for that. Oh well. All right, so we have some lighter blue here. And right next to the yellow, that would be really happy. Next to the yellow, every time you see that. In fact, I need to put some more yellow there. Basically, in this case, I am letting the painting tell me what to do, which is, I'm not trying to force the issue here, as opposed to okay, this is actually, I have a little bit of blue mixed in here, so I'm toning this down just a little bit. Probably wouldn't notice that much. All right, and you know what, there are a lot of different knives that I have that I could be using. And this is actually a mixing knife, not a painting knife. But I like it. Let's grab some more of that Indian yellow. Put it next to the blue. And I'm not worried if I have some white space later when this whole thing is done. I don't care. It's just whatever we get done at the end of the show, the painting is done. I have so many little spaces. This seems a little large. But I'm not going to address that yet. I'm going to start filling in the bottom. What does it need? I hear all kinds of people screaming out different colors. Yeah, I know. I know. But I haven't used any cad red light yet. I mean, I use red, but not red. Actually, Jim's not the only one who has emailed me or talked to me. I had a student, Veronica, said she couldn't sit through the episode because it was just too much red for her. So, you know what? I do appreciate the feedback. Okay. There's some white. And I'm mixing this with the yellow, and I totally got sidetracked by the cad red light. And I thought today of maybe not even using it. And then I thought, nah. I like it too much. Because you can mix something similar, but I like the opacity of this. I like how it just makes me happy next to ultramarine blue. It's similar to that, very close. But it's not the same. All right, so we want to, no, that's too much of a screamer next to that. So I'm going to try a cooler red. I know, I was mixing all that white and I went straight for the reds. Okay, let's try some warmer. Oh, that's beautiful. Don't worry, I'll get off the red in a minute. Or two. Okay. Now I can create some neutrals by actually shoving this into the other colors. I don't know if I'm willing to do that yet. I like the light in here, so I'm just going to throw a blob of white. Did you see that? Whoa, just put it down. Oh, that's awesome. So some white here. I love what happens to you. Okay, this is what happens when you're painting. You get lost in what's on your knife, and it's like, oh, wow, that is just too cool. I like that. So I'm going to make some, make a little print out of what little shape that's on my knife. Cool. Okay. This is like being a kid and experimenting and just having no worries. Best way to paint, no worries. And when you can translate into the other things that you're doing, and then you got it down. Throwing some more white up here. I'm surrounding this with light. Broke that shape up. Need some more blue. Can you believe I said that? Okay. This is, we've talked about this about every time I paint. This is a new tube of paint, so I'm kneading it because otherwise the oil separates, and when you squeeze it out, you have all oil and not. And this is a soft white, soft mixed white. I think I'm going to use a whole tube on this canvas. So it's a runnier version. All right, let's get some, what do I want? Some more Mediterranean, but I'll lighten it up a little, but not as light as the first batch. Yeah, that's beautiful. I'll bet you guys didn't even think I knew what blue looked like. Okay, I'm going to fill in part of this gap and then partly not. Oh, how cool. See, some of it just smeared and fell on the bottom. I love that. What a happy accident. That was really cool. Okay, so do I want more? I think I want a lot more yellow. I'm going to squeeze it out in two different places. I'm going to have to order a whole new thing of paint after today. Because I normally paint very thin. Oops. Had some blue on the knife. Oh well. All right, so I know that this is going to be happy next to that. And these guys will be happy together. How do I know? Part of it is because they're opposite on the color wheel, the orange and the blue, or if they're adjacent, they're going to be friends. Okay, we want some big expanse of more yellow. I have been on a yellow kick lately. That's awesome. I just love the way the paint is folded down. It's I gotta leave that. It just adds a whole interesting direction. I want to play with that, but I think I need to leave it alone right now. Just want to break up the shape. Okay, what do I want to put down here? Yeah, I think it's yellow around the edges. I hope you're trying this. When you do an abstract, you get all kinds of comments. But you know what? You're going to get them from when you do a realistic painting too. So do it because you're enjoying the process. This reminds me of Michael. Michael is an incredible teacher I had. He really helped me with color. Well, he helped me with a lot of things. But for some reason, it looks like I'm channeling him. Okay, now that's one of those things where, you know what, that's probably, I liked it better before I did that, but oh well, you know. You can do two things. You can pick it apart and keep going, or you can just go right over it and stop what you did. So it's all better, because I couldn't live with that. All right, now I think I want to do something around these shapes here. What I'm noticing is happening is that the inside has a lot of activity. And what it reminds me of is if you look at a map of a town, or if you look at a map, the more you get to the town center, it's densely populated. And as it spreads out, you've got more wide open space. So I think that's what's happening in this painting. The nucleus is just really compact. And as I spread out, it's going to be wider, bigger shapes. And just because I want some red. Oh, that's just gorgeous. Now, you hear me compliment myself when I do something good, but I also, at home, sometimes not say good words when, when I don't like things. But you know what? Oh, this is happy. I like something's going on here. Okay, now here's a tendency. You know, you like this happening here, and it's. I don't want it to be where I've got yellow and red on every little corner. That wouldn't be good. But I was tempted. Okay, so I think I need a little more blue right here. And here. And maybe just a dot. Oof. Oh, before I wipe my knife, I'll just put this right next to that red because it's going to be really happy. Yeah. Of course, it needs a little more paint on the knife, but this blue will be happy as well. I don't want it to be too top heavy, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. So that's why I'm leaving that alone right now, because I really don't know. Okay, let's try. I'm going to put more of this warmth down at the bottom. So I'm just smearing all the red together because I've totally contaminated the colors anyway. So this is like one of those, why not? was cool. All right, now I'm going to try some more violet. Let's see if I can do it without making a grump. I also don't want it to be sickly sweet either. That's better. That's a nice compromise. Okay. Ooh, I'm noticing this little line developing here. I don't want that, so, because it's screwing up the composition. I'm going to have little violet threads. Like that. And maybe a bigger violet thread. I think I'll... Now that turned into a neutral. Oh my goodness, heaven forbid I would do a neutral. Okay, here's a lighter version. Actually approaching some edges. It's funny because that's got the little headdress thing. I need a little more geometric thing going on here. So I've got to address that. Cool. Got to mix some more paint. So you're noticing that I'm using a lot more paint, a lot more mixing. I better need this. I'm not using any painting medium at all. You could, but I'm just putting on thick, luscious strokes here. Okay, we need some red on the top. That was a little dark, a little darker than I wanted, and a little more contaminated than I wanted. But oh well. We'll just add some cad red up there. All right, let's do some more of this. I smeared it right into the blue. Bummer. Well, I was just really glad to hear that Jim's painting, and I've had other people say, well, you know, they're waiting for lots of things before they start. And my only word of advice is that if I waited for conditions to be perfect, I'd never be painting. I'd never do this television show because, you know, I would have waited till I was the perfect weight, I looked perfect, all that stuff. But you know what? I wanted to do it, so I got started. And same thing with the painting. You want to have enough space. You want to have the perfect place to paint. Just get it out on the kitchen table and do it. Oh, nice red. I love this. I hear somebody saying it's a good thing. It is a good thing. Okay, violet around here. Violet because I know it's going to be happy with that. Oh, goodness. And where else would some more of that just be welcome? Colors want to go where they're welcome, just like people. I was happy. I need some more yellow. Thought I was going to say red, huh? Okay, I might as well just squirt out the whole tube here. just putting on thick. And then, you know, some of this needs to go off the canvas. Oops. And I want this swirl of more paint. I just made a nice green. That was on accident, but you know what? I like what happened. I could have said that I meant to do that, but I didn't. Got to address this bottom. I thought about turning the canvas, but I've thought about turning the canvas several times during this process so that I would really catch the edges better. But I want the sense of this whole vertical thing to stay. So I'm not doing that. All right, let's try. Who have we neglected here? Some of this turquoise. I'm going to have to lift this up, though, a little bit. Oops. You know what? I got to turn it. I have to turn it. I'm going to do it slowly. Whole different painting now, huh? That's a cool thing. Tend to sign my abstracts on the back. That way you can hang them any way you want to. Unless, of course, the patron wants me to sign the front, then I will. Oh, I like that. Okay, let's do this around the edges here. Something else has to come off. Let's see. Some more. I think I'll move it around just a little over here. And I'm going to turn it. That's like I'm totally ignoring this area here. Maybe it just needs blue on the bottom. Let's try some straight. Well, it's not going to be straight because I contaminated it. And just smear it on here, Mediterranean blue. So for people that really need realism, I hope you're finding some good shapes in here. And if not, well, there's always the cows next show. And they are happy cows, because we are, after all, in California. Woo! Like that blue. I'm going to move this again. And in the last bit of the show, try to decide where are some gaping holes that I need to address. I don't necessarily have a need to cover the entire canvas. I just need to make the form work for me. What do I want? Some violet? Yeah. Ooh. Now that's a little pretty, but it's going to be too much of a bummer for everybody else, so I'll have to tone that down. As you can tell, toward the end of the show, my palette started off neat and pretty, and it's all over the board now. Okay, that just looks awkward there, so I need to change that, tie it in a little bit, add some red. So I need to do some quick dramatic strokes to finish this thing off, so I'm going to quickly squirt out some red. Okay, maybe not so quickly. Yep, that's happy. Now what about down here? Okay, one more dose of red. We're just about there. People ask, how do you know when you're done? Well, it's kind of like getting full. And of course, they say it takes two people to paint the painting, right? The artist to paint the painting, and then somebody to shoot the artist when they're done, because they never feel like they're done. But I feel like I'm full. This is done. I love it. There aren't any spaces that bother me. I think it's gorgeous. So it was a great way, a great liberating way of just putting, mixing some colors, playing with the paint, swirling things around. And I used, Jim, you would be so proud, for your 80th birthday, I used all the colors. Every one. I didn't make any neutrals because I just didn't have that in me, but I did stay away from the reds as much as possible. So I hope you had a great birthday. And everybody out there, I would really encourage you to just get the paints out, get a knife, and start painting. Yep, I'm just going to sign it. But I'm going to wait till it dries. So that's it. Thanks for watching Give Your Wall Some Soul. I'm Shannon Grissom. If you have any questions, please email me at shannon@shannongrissom.com. See you next time.